Yeah. Yeah. Good evening, all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not? Yes.
Yes, it's visible.
Yes.
Yes. So Python, right? Yes. So, so in the yesterday demo session, right, we had just some interaction on this Python introduction, right? Uh, so Python was introduced in the year 1989, right? Almost like more than 30 years ago it was introduced, but especially from the last 5, 6 years, right? We got a great boom for Python. So if you see a lot of applications getting developed using Python, and most the high-end technologies, they are using Python as the implementation language, right? So, and what are the main reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Which makes Python suddenly super popular. Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular. First thing is most of the developers, see the programmers or developers, they are attracted towards any programming language which has very less code, right? It has Python has got very less code as compared to other programming languages, not even 1/4 coding as compared with other programming, and simple syntaxes, right? Yes. And multi-programming features. What all the features we see in different other programming, all the features we see here in Python, multi-programming features, we say hybrid features. Python has got hybrid features. It has taken some advantages, some features from one programming, some other advantages, features from in this way from multiple programming languages. It has taken the features and advantages. Interactive mode, statement by statement, we can interact here in Python. For every statement, it use response, right? This kind of feature you won't see in other programming language. So, and wide varieties of applications, right? Lot of applications, any type of applications we can create using Python, like web application, like automation applications, like data science applications, big data applications, networking applications, embedded applications, graphic applications, gaming applications, desktop applications, right? So any type of applications you can develop, right? It's not for a particular purpose. It's not purpose based, right? Yes. It's a general purpose programming, and many built-in modules. The Python has got a great boom because of these modules, many built-in modules. Nearly is providing 89,300 inbuilt modules. Python is providing for various domains or various environment, right? Yes, which makes Python super popular. So these are the reasons which makes Python super popular. We doesn't have modules concept in other programmings like C or Java. We won't see this kind of interaction. Interactive mode is not available in other programming like C or Java, right? Multi-programming support. Multi-programming support also. C supports functional programming, but doesn't support object-oriented. But Java, it's pure object-oriented, right? It won't support modular programming or scripting, right? Yes. So Python supports all those. As part of the course, we'll be discussing from this ground level to the advanced level, like procedural oriented with Python, object oriented with Python, modular programming with Python, and scripting, right? Yes. So today I'll discuss about Python software. Before I go with the installations and execution modes, right? Yes. You need to know something about PSF. PSF, right? Python Software Foundation, right? Python Software Foundation. Yes. PSF. It is a non-profit PSF, right? It is a non-profit organization. Non-profit organization devoted towards Python community. Devoted towards Python community. Yes. This PSF, right? It was launched in the year 2001. In the year 2001, right? The main objective of this Python Software Foundation to foster the development of Python, to foster the development of Python from version to version, right? Yes. And in the year 2005, Python Software Foundation, right, received, yes, Computer World Horizon Award. And the president for this, the president, right, for this, Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum, right? The same is the personality who developed or who introduced Python. The same personality is the president for this PSF. And headquarters, Delaware, right? Delaware, US. Official website, www.python.org. Python.org is the official website from where we can download Python, from where we can see the documentation for each and every Python release, right? For each and if any new version of Python is released, what are the new features? What are the features that are removed? Everything we can see in this python.org, right? Where you can see the documentation of Python. We can see the Python versions to be downloaded, right? With this python.org. So before I go with the installation process, just I'll show you like the versions. What are the previous Python versions? Python versions, right? That Python 1.x version. Python 1.x version, like it was released in the year 1989. Next, like Python 2.x version, right? 2.x, it was released in the year 2000. Python 3.x version in the year 2008. The version what we are using currently is three version. 3.x means 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4. The first three version was released in the year 2008. Yes. Stable, okay. Latest version of Python. Latest version of Python, right? Yes. Latest version of Python. Python 3.12, right? Python 3.12. Yes, stable version of Python. Stable version of Python. Python 3.10. Nothing but stable version is nothing but mostly used version, right? Okay. So the version what we are going to install, Python 3.12 is the latest version, right? That is we are going to install. So hardly it takes 1 minute to install Python. So yes. So Python installation. Yes. So I'll be just showing you from the scratch, right? Before I go with the installation process, settings, apps, apps and features. Yes. Python. Python 3.12, right? I'm installing it from my system. I'll show you how to download and how to install from the scratch. So Python providing different softwares for different environments, for Windows, for Linux and Mac OS. For Linux, there is no need of any installation. By default, Python comes as inbuilt within the Linux operating system. Directly, you can work with Python, no need of any installation. But for Windows and for Mac OS, we are supposed to download and we need to install it. For Windows, it provides two softwares. For Windows, it provides two softwares for Windows 32-bit, for Windows 64-bit. If you are using older version of Windows, if your Windows has got its Windows is 32-bit, you are supposed to download 32-bit Python software. If your Windows is a 64-bit, you are supposed to download 64-bit Python software. How will you check whether your Windows is 32-bit or 64-bit? Check this. So let the installation boxes go right. Yeah. So right click and say File Explorer. Right click on your PC or computer. Right click on your PC or computer. Right, say Properties. This PC is there, right? Right click on this PC and say Properties. Here system type, what it is showing? 64-bit operating system. It is showing like 64-bit operating system. Then you are supposed to download 64. If it is showing 32-bit operating system, so you need to download 32-bit Python software, right? So I'm closing this. Let the uninstallation progress still it's going up, right? So meanwhile, we will download the Python software, right? So what is the official website for Python? Python.org. Just open Google, right? Open Chrome browser. Just in this www.python.org. Python.org is the official website from where we can download Python and see this documentation for each and every Python release. Downloads. Within these downloads, click all releases. Just click all this. So within python.org website, then that go to downloads, click all releases. Scroll down, just scroll down. Active Python releases, don't go for it. Looking for a specific release. Looking for a specific release, right? Yes. Yeah. So you can see the Python versions from the last 20 years. You can see all these are the Python releases from the last 20 years, from 2001 onwards, right? Yes, all the versions, what all the releases, which version you want, you can choose it. So 3.12.2, can you see here? 3.12.2. At any 3.12 version you can select. Yes, released on February 6, 2024, like almost like 40 days ago, right? 3.12.2, select it. So it will show this Python 3.12.2 gets opened. And here, scroll down to the bottom of the page. Scroll down to the bottom of the page, right? You can see the files. For Mac OS, go for the 64-bit universal installer, Mac OS 64-bit universal installer. For Windows, 64-bit installer. Check it here, 64-bit installer and 32-bit installer. Windows, 32-bit installer, 64-bit installer, right? Yes. Click this 64-bit installer. Your download is going to start. Yes, download here. Check this. Yes. So here 25 MB of size. Download completed. Just 25 MB of size, right? Yes. All the 89,300 inbuilt modules of Python that is won't be available in this Python software. Later we need to download and we need to install it. Only commonly used modules you will see in this Python software. But data science related, database related, big data related, all this won't be available. Later, separately, we need to download and install. Hardly takes 1 minute for installing any Python module. So here uninstallation is completed. Successfully close it. And here you downloaded the file, right? Yes, just click that downloaded file. Go to the downloads folder and click the exe file, right? Yes, you will get a window in this way. Yes. So here, you don't immediately go for installation. At the bottom, you can see add Python to path. So generally, if people who has knowledge on Java, they'll be setting the path manually, going to the environment variables, right? Just here, all those not required. Just to say add Python to path variable of operating system. Once you get this window, just to select that add Python to path. The last one is selected. Go for customize installation. Go for what? Customize installation. Yes. Nothing to select. Everything are pre-selected. Everything are selected. Documentation, pip, IDLE, Python test suite, launcher. All those are selected. Okay. Next. Just say next. So it says yes, advanced options. It says just nothing to select here, nothing to select. And here, if we can see installation location, right? Yes. In C users, Dell, App Data, local programs, Python 311, right? Yes. Somewhere it is getting installed, right? In users, in Dell, in App Data, local programs, Python. Tomorrow, if you want to locate where your Python is installed, you need to enter into all these subdirectories, right? And tomorrow, if you want to install any module of Python, you need to type all this big path for installing the module. So instead of all this, remove all, remove this, place your mouse here and just remove all this. Just to say C slash Python 312. Python 312 nothing but 3.12, right? A folder is going to get created within that Python 312 folder. You'll see all those. Python installation is going to be done within this folder. In the C drive, Python 312 within that it is going to get installed. See, this is the location of your Python. Install hardly takes some half minute for installing this Python. Once it gets installed, right, let us check whether it is properly installed or not, right? Fine. Even you can install Python in any of your, so in Mac OS, in Linux, it's already available in Windows. Even in your smartphones, you can install Python. Go to your Play Store, select Python IDE, Integrated Development Environment, right? Select, go to your Play Store and say Python IDE. Many IDs, many like Python related IDs you will be getting. Select any one and you can type your code and execute the code within your smartphones also, right? Yeah, almost done with the installation, right? So just yes, Jay Krishna, right? Does Linux all versions have Python install, Python software install? How to check? In your terminal, right? In your terminal, just say Python. See here, 1 second. Coming to this, yes. So in Linux, you'll open terminal where you will type your commands, right? This terminal, right? Just to say Python. In the latest version, Python 3 you need to type. Python 3 if you type, then Python interpreter gets open like this. Right? Python 3 you need to type. Python interpreter gets opened. And if you want to execute any Python file, say Python 3 sample1.py. You're submitting your this Python file to Python 3. It executes this. Within the terminal itself, you can create how you create .txt file in Linux in the same way using VIN nano. Here, just to create a .py, write the Python code in it, and in the terminal say Python 3. That's to get executed. Yes. No need of any installation. But if you want the latest version of Python to be installed in your Linux machine, if you're using older version of Linux, it says like older version of Python in it. If you say everything you need to do from the root user, right? Say sudo apt get install Python 3.12. If 3.12 not available, if it is not supporting, you can go with 3.11. 3.12. This command is going to install Python in your Linux machine. So now check Python is successfully installed in your system or not. How will you check? And Python has to be recognized from anywhere within your system, right? Not from a particular drive. It has to be recognized from anywhere. For that, how will you check whether Python is recognized in your system? So Yes, you already installed Python. Yes, Vishaka Docker, right? Yes. So you have already installed Python, but how do I check which version I have installed? So just in the Windows, right? As you can see in the bottom search, type CMD. You know how to go to command prompt, either by typing CMD. Yes, type CMD and say enter. You'll get the you'll command prompt gets opened. Command prompt gets opened. Right? Just type Python. That's it. Your Python is recognized or not recognized. Just it will. If I say enter, it has to display the Python version and Python interpreter should get opened. Otherwise, your Python is not recognized. See, Python version is displaying 3.12.2, and this three arrow symbol, right, where this the Python interpreter, where you can type any valid Python statement and interact with Python statement by statement. You can interact any valid Python statements, right? 4 plus 5, 21 into 32. Any valid Python statements. X as 10, Y as 5. What is X? What is Y? What is X plus Y? X into 2. X to the power of 2. This is the power symbol, right? X equal to Ajay. Y equal to Kumar. Saying what is X plus Y? Says Ajay Kumar, right? So in this way, any valid statements, no need to define the data types also here in Python. Python 3.0 is the lot old version, right? Somewhere like in 2020 or 2019, it was released. Almost like 5 years back, it was, right? So yes, now x equal to, hello, x into 3, x into 5. So any valid Python statements you can type and you can just, if you say quit, it will come out of it. Any statements you can type and check. This is what interactive mode in Python. We can easily interact statement by statement. This kind of interaction you won't see in other programmings like C language or Java language. So that is Python installation. If you got any queries, you can unmute yourself and you can ask your query through voice, or you can type your query in the chat panel, right? Be free in asking the queries and try to interact, right? I want the sessions to be much more interactive. And next, once I enter into this programming part, so for every statement I type, I want responses from you all, right? Unmute yourself and through voice. How you, in an offline class, how you people respond in the same way here also. Just provide your responses through voice or through chat. So yes, Python execution modes. Python execution modes. Two modes of execution. Two modes, right? Yes. First one, interactive mode. Just now I discussed, right? Interactive, we can easily interact statement by statement. Interactive mode is one. Secondly, like batch mode also. Python also supports batch mode. So interactive mode, yes. Here, just now we discussed here, we directly type Python statements on the interpreter. Python is an interpretation language. We have got interpreter, right? And the user can easily interact, and the user can easily interact with Python. And the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. So what is the advantage of the interactive mode? Advantage means if you doesn't know about any Python functionality, you can type in, check what output it is going to provide. Based on the response, you can easily analyze what that functionality for, right? To test the functionalities of Python, what is the advantage of this interactive mode? To test the functionalities. And to test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python. Uh, beginners and learners, interactive mode works better, right? It provides statement by statement the output, right? And but interactive mode is not preferred for developing applications. For developing applications, this interactive mode is never preferred. We need to go for batch mode. Batch mode means creating .py file, like .c and .java file. We need to create .py file. So here we write a batch of statements. Here we write set of statements. Set of statements within the editors or IDs. Within the editors or IDs. And save it. And save it by using .py extension. Save it by using .py extension and later submit to Python. We write set of statements within the editors or IDs and save it by using .py extension and later submit it to Python. We write in within the editors or IDs. Okay. What are the various editors, right? What are the various editors? What are the various editors where we can write this Python code? Various editors, right? Like Notepad, Edit Plus. Within the Windows environment, we use Notepad and Edit Plus, right? And within the Linux environment, we use VI Nano editors, right? Just writing, creating a .py file, creating a .py file using the editor. And in real time, we use IDs. Yes. What are the various IDs? Various IDEs. Like first, like PyCharm, right? PyCharm, right? PyDev. Various IDs like PyCharm, PyDev, Lambda, Komodo, Spider. Integrated Development Environment. ID full form is what? Integrated Development Environment. Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter Notebook, right? VS Code. So unlike the other training sites, just I'll not like on one ID, I'll be showing you on multiple IDs, not on a single ID. Like I'll be showing you on multiple, like PyCharm, Spider, Eclipse, Jupyter, VS Code, all this, right? You may ask why this many IDs for Python, not one or two? Why not one or two means Python is used for different environments. Different environments are using different IDs, right? So like data science uses Jupyter Notebook, it uses Spider ID. Even like big data, like uses Spider and Jupyter, right? Typical web applications uses PyCharm, VS Code, right? Yes. So among all these, the mostly used ID, PyCharm is the mostly used one, mostly used. Yes. Yes. Developing, developing the first Python application within a editor, within a editor. Developing the first Python application within a editor, right? Example like Notepad. Yes, Notepad. So just open Notepad. Yes. So I said people from zero programming and non-programming can update with Python, right? Everyone can update. Just do the practicals day to day, every day, and try to interact, try to give your responses. Open Notepad and type the following Python statements. Open Notepad and type the following Python statements. Up to now, we didn't discuss anything about Python, right? Technical. So just I'll take the two values, x as 10 y as 20. Print x plus y, right? Print x plus y, right? Print x minus y. X into y. I want to perform some kind of arithmetic operations. Print x by y. X plus y, x minus y, x into y, and x by y. Some kind of arithmetic operations. I'll copy this to a separate notepad file. I'll copy this to a separate notepad, right? Yes. So just I open notepad and just taken two values and performing addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Save file, save. Save this in the Python. Yesterday I created a 9 p.m. batch, a folder for this 9 p.m. batch, right? So within the C drive, I created a folder with the name Python 9 p.m. batch. Within that, I'm saving it as sample1.py. .py extension. Give any name. .py extension, right? Yes. Save it. Yes. So now you have created a sample1.py file, right? Now save as. We have saved as sample1.py. Now submit this file to Python. Now submit this file to Python. So how will you submit this file to Python? Right in the bottom search panel, type cmd to go and say enter, right? And say enter to go to the command prompt. Just before we have seen how to open interactive mode. Just if you type Python, if you say enter, the Python version will be displayed. Python interpreter gets opened. But I doesn't want to work with interactive mode. Just submit the Python file to this Python, where that file is available within the C drive, right? Within this Python 9 p.m. batch, within this Python 9 p.m. batch, within that sample1.py. Okay. Say enter. So the file name present in which folder and which and present in which drive. That entire path submit to Python, right? 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, right? So just to go to the command prompt, type Python and give the entire file path. But here, what is your observation? Here we are writing. Here we are writing the code at one place. We are writing within the notepad. and executing at the other place where you are executing within the command prompt. But we're writing the code at one place and executing other place. But to but to write and execute, but to write and execute at the same place. But to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, Integrated Development Learning Environment, right? But to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, Integrated Development Learning Environment, which comes along with, observe, which comes along with Python installation, which comes along with Python installation. Using which we can write and execute. We can write and at the same place, right? Yes. So this ideally we can writing the code and executing the code at the same place. But now we are writing within the notepad, executing at the command prompt. So how to open this ideally and how to write the code and execute the code? Just I'm taking the same code, right? Two values and performing this arithmetic operations. Just in the search panel, whenever you install Python, this you will get IDLE also. So in the bottom search panel, type IDLE. So by default, you will get this IDLE Python 3.12. Just open it. Python shell gets open like this. IDLE Python 3.12. Just I'm closing it. Another way of opening it, go to your start programs, select your all applications, where all applications, scroll down to P. Yes. Python 3.12. The first one, what you see, ideally Python 3.12. That's it. Just type in the search and say ideally. This ideally gets opened. It opens in interactive mode. This interactive mode, right? Three arrow symbol. 3 into 2, yes. But I doesn't want to work with interactive mode. I want to work with batch mode. Here you won't see any run option, but file, new file, if you say, whenever you say file, new file, can you see this run option? So here you can write your code. Just you can write your code, save your code and execute your code. Save. Yes. So just write your code, save your code and run your code. Run module. If you execute 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. Yes, writing here itself, executing means run. Yes, you are executing here itself, right? Yes. Okay, fine. So, but later I discuss about IDEs, right? Integrated development environments like PyCharm, Jupyter, Spider, Eclipse, all this. Yes. No, no delimiters required, no, nothing required here. In the case of C or Java, every statement ends with semicolon, but here, no. Yes. Can we place two statements in a single in one line? Yes. For that semicolon required. For that semicolon required. If you want two Python statements in a single line. Yes. So yes. Now just I'll give introduction to this Python data types. Yes. Python data types, right? Yes. Just I'll take 5-10 minutes more. Right. Every organization, every organization use case has got data and operations, has got data and operations. Every organization use case has got data and operations. Data represented data represented using data types or variables. Data represented using data types or variables. Operations represented using functions. For example, any organization you take. For example, take the example of a bank. Bank has got data and operations. Data like customer data, customer name, account number, its address, its balance. Operations like withdrawal operation, transfer operation, deposit operation, right? So data represented using data types or variables, operations using functions. Okay. Okay. So if we compare this data types variables with the other programming like C or C++ or Java, comparison with Python. C++, Java, comparison with Python, right? Python supports dynamic data types. Python supports dynamic data types. What do you mean by these dynamic data types? In other programming like C++, Java, if you want to define x as 10, compulsory you need to say int x. Y equal to 4.5. We need to say like float. Z equal to some string HCLL, right? We need to say like string Z. So without this data type defining, these variables X, Y, Z can't be created in other programmings, right? But in Python, directly you can say X as 10. Directly you can say Y as 4.5, Z as hello, right? But here, what kind of variable X is means based on this data type defining, you are saying it as int type. What kind of variable Y is means float. What kind of variable Z is string type. But what kind of variable X is here? What value you are assigning to it? You're assigning a integer value, integer variable is going to get created. What kind of variable Y is means? As you are assigning a float value, float variable is getting created. Type of X is what type? There is a function in Python, type function. Type of X means int. Why it is int? Because you have assigned a integer value to it. Type of Y is what? Float. So type of X into type of Y is float. Based upon what value you are assigning, based on the value assigned, the variables are created dynamically. Type of Z, str type, right? So based upon what value you are assigning, the variables are created dynamically here in Python. So here you assigned a string to Z. So the type of Z is string. To make you understand much better, right? Just understand these 4 cases. Yes. I'll take 5 minutes more. Right. Case 1. Understand this case 1. How exactly the variables or defined. What happens internally when you are defining some variables? How to print its content, how to print the address, how to print the type. Whenever you say x equal to 10, one object is going to get created with value 10. Observe here, whenever you say x equal to 10, an object is created with value 10. It is going to occupy some address, physical memory location address. That address is given to x. Whenever we are saying x equal to 10, so just try to say what x is storing. Don't say x is storing 10. X stores the address. Whenever we say print x, whenever we say print x, it goes to this address and prints whatever present at that address. Prints the content. Print x means prints the content of x. Prints the content at that address. That is 10. Print id of x means prints the address of x. Prints the address of x. 103070, right? Yes. Print a type of x. Prints the content at that address. Prints the address of x. Prints the data type of x. Type of x means prints the data type of x, right? That is integer type. So yes. Print x prints the content at that address. Prints the address of x. Prints the content at that address. Print id of x prints the address of x 103070. Print the data type of x. What is that? Int type. Okay. So yes, printing the content, printing the address, and printing the that is case one. Now case two. Now from here on, right? Everyone try to respond. Try to unmute yourself and try to give your responses through voice, or you can type your queries in the chat, right? Whenever I say x has 10, y has 20, how many objects are created here? Yes. How many objects? For 10, one object. For 20, another object. This is going to have its address, that address given to x, this address given to. So this where exactly it is stored in the memory, that memory address, right? Just here I'm taking some value. Now try to say, try to respond. What is print x?
10.
10. Print address of x.
103070.
103070, right? Type, data type of x, print type of x.
Integer.
Integer. What value you assign to x? So it is what? Integer type. Try to say for print y.
20.
20. It goes to this address and prints the content whatever present there. If you want to print the address of y, what is it? 104080. Type of y, what type it is?
Integer.
Integer type, right? Yes. This is case two. Two different variables x and y with the two different values 10 and 20. Then two different objects with the two different addresses, right? Yes. Yes. Now see this case three, right? Observe this case three. X value is 10. Y value is 10. How many objects are created here? Everyone.
Two objects.
Try to respond, everyone. How many objects are created?
Two.
Two. Observe carefully here. Only one object is created. Yes. X is 10. Y equal to 10 means don't think one more object will be created. No. X is 10, Y is 10, Z is 10. Don't think three objects with 10 will be created in the memory. No. Before creating object for Y, it checks any object with value 10 if it is already available. The same address will be given to Y. One more object with value 10 won't be created. Duplicate objects won't be created in the memory. For Z also same. Means X, Y, and Z, they are sharing the same content 10. They are sharing the same address, right? They are sharing the content and the address. For example, if X value is 10, Y is 20, Z is 30, how many objects are created? If X is 10, Y is 20, Z is 30, how many objects are created? 3. But if values are 10, 10, and 10, only one object. They are sharing the same content and the address. Now say, I can say like print X equal to print Y, print Z. The values are 10. Address of X, address of Y, and address of Z. Address of X, Y, and address of Z, right? What is the address? 103070. Right. Yes. So, okay. Case 4. Observe this case 4. X is 10, not X and Y here. X is 10, X is 20. How many objects are created? 10, one object. For 20
Two.
also, one object, 20 with some address 1040. Okay. So whenever you say print X, it prints what? 10 or 20 or both? What is your answer?
It will print 10.
So for example, your salary last year 50,000, your salary this year 80,000. Print salary, what it prints? 80,000 latest salary. So X value was 10, X value became 20. It always prints the latest value.
20.
Print address of X will print the latest one. Yes. So X can store only one address and we can have only one value. The previous one gets removed. Whenever X equal to, immediately whenever you say X equal to 20, the previous one is going to get removed, right? It's from the memory, right? These are the 4 cases, right? Case 1, storing it. Print X address of X type of X. Case 2, two different variables with two different values, two different objects, two different addresses. Case 3, X is 10, Y 10, Z 10. Only one object, one address. And case 4, right? Yes, this X can store only one value, one address. The previous one gets removed, right? Understood all these 4 cases. Any queries in this? So in this today's session, just I was briefing you about reasons why which makes Python super popular, Python software foundation, Python versions, Python installation, Python execution modes. Yes. And developing the first Python application within editor, right? And introduction to this data types and variables. We'll be discussing more on these data types variables in the tomorrow session. As I said, for completing this entire Python core in advanced, it takes 70 hours, I said, like 2 months duration. Yes. And for people who wants to go for Python full stack web development, which considers Python core, Python advanced, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, Django framework, REST APIs, and project, right? So fine. Check this once, the course content. Yes, just 2 minutes. So tomorrow also you can attend the session same time at 9 p.m. using the same link to see more technical discussion, right? And tomorrow you can attend, but from day after tomorrow, the link will be changed, right? Tomorrow you people can attend, but from day after tomorrow, the link changes. You are supposed to get enrolled from day after tomorrow, right? For getting the new link. Yes. So you
Hello.
can see in the chart, a big message is given by the online team. So their contact details, if you got any queries, and the payment details. And if you see, right, the Google Pay number and this course content is forwarded, you can see that. Yes, course content. Yes.
Sir,
Sir, I have a
Yes.
question, sir. This is Srinu.
Yes.
Sir, actually, you told me like you'll take only weekdays classes and weekend classes for the Django, right? And you go for the practice session on the weekends, right? I can't attend for the weekend classes. I can go for the weekdays classes. Is it possible to do Django
See-
classes in the
see-
weekdays?
So 1 second. Once the people who got enrolled for full stack web development, right? You
Yeah.
can attend any of my Django classes,
And
which, for example, if you want to go parallel, you can go parallel immediately because immediately the Django won't be starting. HTML, CSS, JavaScript will be discussed by the time, right? You will be completing half of your Python course. And either you go in the weekend, there are some weekdays batches also available. Weekday batches also will be available, right? Once any of the Django batch which is going to start either weekend or weekday, once you got enrolled in the full stack, you can attend any of my batch at any time,
no,
either
usually
weekday.
take your Django classes like weekends or weekdays, please.
Mostly it will be at the weekends, but weekdays also we have got weekdays also, right?
Yeah, actually, they told me the online team. They told me like you take only weekend classes and Mohan Reddy will take weekdays classes. So I want like confirmation like whether it's weekend if I want to continue for your classes I can. I'm very happy if it is there on weekdays. I can't come on weekends, please.
That one thing, that's what I'm saying, right? 3 weekend batches started means one weekday batch will be there. Understanding, right? So, uh, for example, for every 3 weekend batches, 3:1 ratio. Why? Because most of the students will be preferring weekend batches for Django, but weekday batches also I'll be taking, but less compared to that. Means every 1 month or only once.
Uh,
Every
okay,
one, every one
I got.
month, one Django batch will be started, right?
Mhm. Okay.
1 month or 1.5 month, one Django batch, not very frequently. uh, in that batch. So during this, right, after 1 month, if any Django batch started in the weekday, you can attend it.
No, they told me like if you are with you, I have to go for your classes. If I was with other faculty, I have to go other faculty classes. I can't attend like mix the classes, it seems.
No, I'm saying, right? So either you want to attend at the weekends or weekday. Once you got enrolled, you can attend any of my Django class, either in the weekend or weekday. Weekday batches are also there.
Ah, okay. Good.
Huh?
Thank you so
Either
much.
either you complete after Python, you want to attend it separately, or parallelly after 15 days, after 20 days, after 1 month, any new Django batch is starting.
I want
Or
to go parallel, like I want to complete it in the weekdays as the classes passes, right? I want to go flow in the flow. I don't go for like break up like weekdays for this and weekends for that. I can't make it up because I have work on my weekends. Present, I lost my job. I was working on weekends.
okay, that's okay. Not a worry. So weekdays batches will be there, right? You can attend that any of my weekday batch. It's available.
Because I'm from UK, so I lost my job recently. I'm changing up my field, so that's the
Mhm.
reason. I was like making up with you. Like, is it possible to? I was doing on my weekend other job, so I can't come on weekends. So I have a free time on my weekdays. So that's the reason I was like want to flow in weekdays also.
So yes, if anyone, right, for anyone who wants to complete the course, means if it doesn't, means 2 months it takes for Python, 2 months, nearly more than 2 months it takes for full stack, right? That all this discussion, it takes 4 months for full stack Python, right? So if you're going one after the other, that's why if you want to go parallelly also, you can go parallelly. So people who got enrolled for full stack can attend any of my Django batches, I'm saying, right? So 1 second, 1 second. I'll just brief you about it. Just I'll take 2 minutes more. So once again, see this, someone asked that details, right? You can see, go to that payment details, right? Fine. This first to go to that course content, Python basics, Python operations, operators in Python, Python IDEs, flow control statements, looping statements, strings in Python, collections in Python, Python lists, Python tuples, Python sets in brief, dictionaries, functions in Python, and modules in Python, packages in Python, errors and exceptions handling, file handling in Python, object-oriented programming concepts in brief, and regular expressions. Different now coming to this modules in Python, different modules related to different environments like database connectivity, Python datetime, and operating system module, right? Advanced concepts like iterator, generator, closest decorators, graphical programming, Excel working with Excel workbook, data analytics, introduction to data science, Pandas module, NumPy module, and Matplotlib. This is for Python. People who wants to go only for Python core and advanced. These 30
Excuse
topics
me.
in brief will be discussed for this Python core and advanced. Yes.
Uh, I just want to use this Python for reporting purpose. At what level can I stop learning? Because
So
I
here,
don't want to get into the programming and all, developing apps and blah blah blah. Only I want to do some analysis. I want to use it as an analysis tool, like visualization tool.
yes,
At
yes.
what level?
So here we have got this matplotlib for plottings and visualizations. So generating graphs, normal plottings, bar graphs, histogram, scatter plots, stack plots, pie plots, with many working examples. I'll be discussing that. People who are for data analysis,
Yeah,
visualization,
yeah.
we
Like
use this.
SAS, Power
So
BI, we
this
use.
is what matplotlib. So in this, I'm going to discuss some modules related to different domains. Some models related, see this numerical Python, some models related to data science, some models related to big data, some models related to
Mm.
databases, some models related to graphics, some more operating systems, datetime related, right? And regular expressions, and how to create our own modules, user-defined modules, right? This will be discussed, right? So by the end of this course, you will get a great command on this modular programming because of this modular programming, right? So how to use 89,300 modules are there. So how to use it, how to get the help, how to explore the modules, you'll be learning as part of the course. Means it doesn't mean that all that domains will be covered. So means how to domain specific modules, how we can explore, how to get the help, how to work with that. Means people from different areas will be learning Python, right? From testing background, from networking, from data science, from databases or big data background. Many people from different domains will be updating with Python. So for all those specific modules, they'll have the domain specific modules, how to get it, how to work, how to explore, how to get the help, how to import different ways, renaming, reloading, all this will be discussed as part of this modular programming. So you need to have some basic knowledge of writing the, so Python is not like other programming where you write huge codings here, right? For this modular programming, you need to understand how to dig, how to explore those modules, how to work with them, right? Yes. So they said 89,300 models are there. So for different environments, right, we can check with that models for your domain and just exploring only those.
I want to
For,
analysis
ex
then
for
about
example, people for data science background, Python is providing 10 to 15 modules.
okay.
Main modules I'll be discussing as part of this course, like NumPy, Matplotlib, Pandas module, right? In brief, in depth, it will be discussed. Uh, so those modules, see, for a data science, not only this NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, CP, scikit-learn, TensorFlow, in this way, many modules are available, right? So we need to explore it. How to get, how to do all this, you'll be learning as part of. And apart from this Python, people who go for full stack, Django framework, web frameworks, Django installation, project architecture, Django applications creations, Django views, Django templates, Django admin, Django models, advanced concepts, the total Django in brief. And you will be given knowledge on UI technologies also, because for this Django web development, right? You need to have the knowledge about this UI technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap. You'll be given the full knowledge on this before you go with the web development process, right? And okay, one second. Mhm. So Python, Python core, Python advanced, right? Everything in brief, like it will take nearly 70 hours will be spending as per that course content, right? In depth, we'll be discussing about all the 30 topics said. 2 months duration. So it's a offer batch. The fee structure is just 5,000 for only Python core and advanced. And people who wants to go for full stack Python full stack web develop. So people who go for full stack web development, nearly like you'll be developing applications, nearly like 15 to 20 applications you'll be developing in this course. For that, first you'll be given knowledge on web development. You need to know about this web development, right? So UI technologies on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, plus, and here Django framework. Django framework, that is the framework for interactive web applications creations. If you want to develop a project in Python, this Django framework compulsory, right? Yes.
Can I ask one question, sir?
Just one second. REST APIs. Less project. So for all this, right, web development, Django framework, REST API, for all this. So anyone who have not attended, right, at the previous, like yesterday demo session, can see that a demo link is given, right? You can just watch that. From day after tomorrow, right? Day after tomorrow, link will be changing. Google Drive, you'll be getting the videos to your Google Drives. Uh, you will be getting the notes to your mail IDs, and a WhatsApp group will be created for technical discussion, right? Yes.
Sir, one question.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you said that you'll be giving the training on Hadoop and PySpark also. So
Yes, yes.
when will be starting that batch, sir?
Okay, one second, one second. So, okay, one second, give me a second. So these things, web development, Django framework, REST API project, it takes nearly 2 months, and that is 60 hours on this, 60 hours, 2 months duration. The fee structure is 7K if you are going separately. So yes, 70 plus 60, 130 hours for this total full stack. Totally like 4 months duration. If you want to go parallel, you can go parallelly, right? Or one after the other. 5 plus 7, so like 12,000 is the fee, course fee. But if you're totally choosing this full stack Python with a single payment, right, it's 10K for that. And not only that, I also deal with data analytics, right? Big data analytics, right? There is a package for the big data also, like Hadoop, which covers 4 courses there: PySpark, Linux, and Python. Means if here you require PySpark, you should require Python knowledge, right? So big data like Hadoop, PySpark, Linux, Python. Python, this entire 2 months course you can attend, right? In any of my Python batch. Means if you are continuing with this 9 p.m., we can continue with this 9 p.m. itself, Python 2 p.m. But whenever this will be in the weekends mostly, this Hadoop, PySpark, these things, right? Big data batches, people who are working are people who are it is, right? They'll be preferring, most of the students will be preferring weekends where they've got holiday and Saturday and Sunday, right? So yes. Okay, find it. Hadoop, PySpark, and Linux. Here it's a weekend batch. For 12 weekends, it will be. This will be for 12 weekends. 12 weekends, let's Hadoop PySpark, where PySpark has got a great boom today. Very high speed processing. It's even that salary package also will be very huge for this PySpark, right? So the PySpark prerequisite is Python. You can update with Python. Whenever, if you are this 15K is the fee structure for this, where you learn Hadoop, PySpark, Linux, and Python included. So if you go with this package, you can attend this Python here in any of my Python batch, right? And later, whenever this recently it has started like 2 weeks ago, this but still, if new batches, right? If any new batch starts, you can attend this Hadoop PySpark in that new weekend, right? Yes. PySpark has started last week. But if you want to first to deal with Hadoop, and next if you go on to PySpark, you need to just check with this coming week, right? Yes. Any other queries, right? Anyone? Tomorrow also you can attend the session same time, but from day after tomorrow the link will be changing. Okay. Any other queries? I want the sessions to be more interactive from tomorrow, as we'll be going with some technicals of Python. All right. Yes.
Sir, do we continue in the weekends as well, or it's like only the weekdays? 5 days a week, or we're
Monday
going for
to
a 7 days?
Python will be Monday to Friday.
Okay.
Sometimes if I am free on weekends, I'll pre-intimate 1 or 2 days before about the timings, right? If we are taking on Saturdays, right?
Okay.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So I'm signing off for now. Meet you tomorrow, same time at 9 o'clock using the same link, right? Thank you all for your time. Thank you. Meet you tomorrow.
Thank you.